The windows are open. That can only mean one thing. Football is almost here. We have the preseason finale, and we are going to be talking about 5 players who I think are going to be on the watch for this upcoming game against the Cincinnati Bengals, the final preseason game, and the first one at the link. So, not only that, we're going to be talking about something later on that caught my attention and kind of explain about another situation that's going on with the Eagles team. But starting off here on players who I would watch out or watch for on the final preseason game is going to be quarterback Cole Payton. Now, during his first performance against the Ravens, he did very well. He did get some pretty good reps against Baltimore. New England, not so much. He went 1 for 1 for 10 yards. He was sacked and he lost a fumble, which then sealed the game for the Eagles that night. But I don't really see that it was the fault on him. I saw that more of they used Tanner McKee a little too much to take that QB2 position, and then they forgot about Cole Payton and they just threw him in there towards the end. So that's kind of on the coaching staff there. But I can think that if Cole Payton plays out very well in this game, I do see him staying on the roster, and maybe Andy Dalton is the one that gets kicked out because it's going to be between Dalton and Payton for QB3 because that's what the performance that Tanner McKee had against New England. I think he is more than deserving of that QB2 position. And now with QB3, it's going to be down between Payton and Dalton, which I think Payton does take the advantage of because when he played against Baltimore, he did not look too bad out there. Dalton, no, I don't know what's going on with him. So I don't know if he's starting this game. I personally think that Payton should receive a lot of reps. I think most of the second half he should get the reps, or you can start him and see how he goes there, and then throw in Andy Dalton in the second half to see if he can somewhat still go. Otherwise, I could see him getting waived or even traded from this Eagles team. So again, Cole Payton, that's someone I would take a look at. Another player I do want to take a look at, and he's been doing really great, is Ty Robinson. Ty Robinson, just last week, defensive coordinator Vic Fangio has said that he is on life support. The former 4th-round pick out of the Raiders, he came here to Philly on life support, meaning it's all or nothing, and he has proven himself to be worth that spot on the 53-man roster. I just think that his performance has been doing very well. He has 3 sacks, and he's made it very clear to the quarterbacks that he is ready to run you over if he needs to. So I do see Ty Robinson making the team. If he gets one more sack, then we can even talk about considering putting him in like a rotation role for an actual game, besides just sitting on the bench in case someone gets injured, heaven forbid. But Robinson is a player I would definitely take a look at because I think he's going to do very well. If he can play good in this game, he is locked in for that 53-man roster. Like I said, he can even have some snaps during the season. I really think he does. Another player who I think will get some snaps during the regular season, because he has before, is the next player on the list, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. He had one hell of a game against New England, another sack, or he caused a sack during the preseason. He's been locked down. He has done what he needs to do to stay on this team, be on that 53. There were some rumblings going around that he could be part of a trade for a player, which I don't think we should get rid of him. I think he's really good. Plus the legacy with Trotter Sr. and the Eagles, you can't really throw that away right away, But that's just my personal thought. But Trotter, overall, he's definitely shown improvement. He's definitely been someone who I think will really help boost that defense morale. And let's just see what happens. Again, I think Trotter Jr. has what it takes. And he's been on the 53-man roster before. He is going to probably be in this one too. And hopefully he has that big jump to kind of like how his father did during his time with the Eagles. And next up here for my next list, for my list of players to look out for this game, I am actually going to focus on Carson Steele. Carson Steele had one hell of a game against the Patriots, 2 hurdles over defenders, and one of them was for a touchdown. And that's what you want to see out of a running back. Now, I can think of a few things here that could be helpful for Steele. Right now, Tank Bigsby is injured with a toe injury. We don't know the power or how impactful the injury is going to be. We don't know if it's like a turf toe injury, which could be out for quite a while, or maybe like a bruised toe or maybe a broken toe. Wouldn't be as long as a turf toe, I believe, unless I read something wrong earlier. But regardless, this could have Steele be a running back, the RB3 on the team while Bigsby's out. Because you'll have Saquon Barkley, Will Shipley, and Carson Steele. Shipley was a player I said to look out for during the Patriots game. And he did very well for himself for taking those lead roles. Dameon Pierce is a player who I said to look out for, but then when I realized afterwards that he was actually not going to be playing that game due to an injury, he should be cleared for this game, so it'll be between Steele and Pierce. But I have a feeling that if Pierce does not get be part of the running back depth chart, we could probably see him at fullback for the Eagles. And with how Steele's played, I think a fullback role would fit perfectly for him. He did some fullback plays when he was with the Chiefs. And, give or take, they had some success. So I really think that if they want to try that, I can see them go for that and give him that fullback position. And I think he would progress very well. So if he doesn't get the running back 3 position, at least have him look at fullback. Because that's another player who I think is going to make the 53-man roster. So Pierce is going to be basically playing for to stay on the team. If he doesn't ball out, I think Pierce is going to go. But Steele, I think he's going to stay. And one final player we're going to mention who I think is going to make the 53. Well, obviously he's going to make the 53 once I say his name. He hasn't really done anything for the past few weeks due to a hamstring injury, and he might play in tomorrow's game. He might not. But the final player I'm going to mention to look out for this matchup is wide receiver Mekhi Lemon. Mekhi Lemon had a very rough start, considering he has had injuries with his hamstring, which you don't want to go overboard on, because the second you mention any hamstring injuries, it can get very bad if you continue to play through it. It's not good. The ligaments then get worse. So that's why Mekhi hasn't really done a lot of training camp drills over the summer. He's been somewhat active, but during the open practice on Tuesday, he was in full pads for the first time. He got a few completions. He got a touchdown on an amazing route that he made. So I think he'll be fine. Do I think he's gonna play? I think he should play a few drives so that way he can kind of get himself going, trying to get that feeling back in him, especially with his official training camp practice was at the Link, which has its pros, has its cons. Mainly pro is that he was able to play very well with a lot of other fans there. So a bigger fan base crowd, he was able to progress. He was able to make these plays. But it's also a con because he was out for most of training camp with a hamstring injury that can really slow him down. But also, there were players like Cooper DeJean, who also had his rookie year. He was dealing with an injury and he didn't play right away. And then eventually he got into form. And then he became very explosive and very talented. So that's definitely something that they could definitely see coming from Mekhi Lemon. Hopefully it does become that way. And like I said, if he plays a few drives, I think that's going to be the best for him. Just to get that momentum going and see how his hamstring is fully going. So those are my 5 players to look at for the Cincinnati Bengals game on Friday. You got, again, as a recap, Cole Payton, Ty Robinson, Jeremiah Trotter Jr., Carson Steele, and Mekhi Lemon. Let me know how you feel below in the comment section. And before we go, I just want to talk about one other thing that's been going on that's also been always on the news for some reason, and that is the training camp of one Jalen Hurts. Now, Jalen Hurts he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. I trust the guy running this team very well. He does also get a lot of hate from the sports media world. And the biggest example is this training camp, where throughout you'll hear about, Jalen Hurts threw more turnovers. He's not throwing in the middle. And when he throws in the middle, it's intercepted and all this other kind of stuff. I think Jalen Hurts will be fine. It's perfectly fine for turnovers to happen. Now, will I make this an excuse? No, he could definitely have done better. But what I'm also saying is that it's not the end of the world that Jalen Hurts has thrown quite a bit of picks. I think he threw 13 as of after the joint practice. So I'm not concerned whatsoever about that. Because I also see it like this as well. This is a ball hawking secondary. The starting crew is. So Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Tyreek Woolen. They are ready to attack the ball. They are ready to do whatever it takes to pick off the ball. And honestly, some of these throws that Jalen Hurts made, and the defenders are diving forward to get the interception, that's also another good sign, because there's going to be times where the quarterback is going to throw an off pass, and it's up to the defender to take advantage of that moment. And that's how I see it. Okay, yes, the throws could be better, but the defense is attacking to get the ball, and that is what they should be doing. And that is why Vic Fangio's defense was always known as a top-tier defense. And say what you will about Jalen Hurts and like the turnovers and all that, they're still mainly a rush-ready offense. Like, their rushing game is still going to be powerful. Now, also, and the media keeps forgetting to mention this, the passes that are, like, for the completions and the touchdowns and all that, they're good. They were not bad at all. So, I don't understand why someone like Deshaun Watson, in a way, gets praised for his training camps, but can't do it in the regular season. But Jalen Hurts gets all the crap out there. Jalen Hurts is one of, if not the most hated quarterback in the NFL right now. The only other quarterbacks I can think of that are hated more than him is Lamar Jackson, and because of his success, Patrick Mahomes. But it baffles me, because Jalen Hurts is a different type of quarterback. He is not a quarterback who's going to throw for 500 yards in 10 straight games. He's not like that. He is going to have rushing touchdowns. And you can have your opinions on the tush push. It's a football play. It's legal. Just learn to stop it. Just learn to get good. I don't know what to tell you on that one. But I think overall, though, he finds ways to get the Eagles W's. That's the thing. That's the important thing at the end of the day. You get the wins. You get the Super Bowls. And Jalen Hurts has gotten the Eagles a Super Bowl. He's made it to the Big Dance twice. And if you want to be the guy that runs in the stats category, he outplayed Patrick Mahomes in both games. So the hate that this man gets is absurd. Now, if he does not progress well in this era of Sean Mannion, but everybody else is, then I can see the talks of potentially looking for somebody else in the next few seasons. Maybe in the next 2 to 3 seasons, maybe looked for someone else at quarterback. However, what Jalen was able to do with multiple different coordinators, might I add, even the bad ones like Kevin Patullo, and still help the Eagles get a winning record and get to the playoffs. Every single offensive coordinator he's had after the 2021 season, because the 2021 season, he kind of got thrown in there and it wasn't that great. But ever since then, playoffs, Super Bowl, playoffs, Super Bowl, playoffs. So clearly something is there to where Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback. The hate is too much. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the ones who think that he is not the average quarterback. Again, throwing 500 yards. Let me say it like this way. The ending stats of throwing for over 5,000 yards, 40 plus touchdowns. He's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. Unless you put the passing and rushing touchdowns together. He's still not going to reach 40. But I just don't understand the hate. Because the goal's to win, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. The goal's to win. So he finds ways to make the team win. But I don't want to keep rambling about this. I just wanted to mention that a little about Jalen Hurts. Basically saying, I'm not scared because he threw some picks at training camp, especially with a ball-hawking secondary. But let's see what happens tomorrow. The Eagles take on the Bengals in the final preseason game. If you're going to the link, have fun, be safe, and as always, fly Eagles, fly everybody. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you're into gaming, we stream on Wednesdays and Fridays, and got a lot coming up, man. I'm excited. Football is almost back, baby. Like I said, fly Eagles, fly.